Hello folks, welcome back, and today I'm going to be talking about someone who's near and dear to my heart. No, it's not Adam Sandler, he's a loser. I'm talking about Weird Al Yankovic. Now, if you're as old as I am, in your late 50s, then maybe you grew up with Weird Al. I know I used to listen to his cassette tapes all the time. It was basically some of the only music I was allowed to listen to, because parents were very strict about what kind of music I listened to, but Weird Al was just kind of fair game. So when I was growing up, because I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of other music, I usually knew the Weird Al version of the song before I would ever hear the original, if I would ever hear it at all. This was actually kind of interesting because more in my adult life, I would hear the original versions of these popular songs from like the late 80s, early 90s, and realize like, oh, this is a real song that I've never actually heard before, and of course I can only think of the lyrics from the Weird Al version, because clearly it's the superior one. Anyway, when I was a kid, I actually got to see Weird Al when he still had the mustache and the glasses and the little fro. And then I actually got to see him again in concert when I was an adult. I'm not an adult anymore, I'm a geriatric, so they gotta make those delineations. I was probably 5 years ago? In the States somewhere? I don't know. Either way, he's a very talented performer, and he's an incredibly talented artist. Now, I've got some little fun facts that you may find interesting about Weird Al. Like, for example, he always asks artists for their permission before he does their song. This might seem like an obvious courtesy, but, you know, you got people like Kanye West. I don't think they're gonna ask so they can rip off your song. Like Harder, and all those other songs that he ripped off from multiple people. You can even see a recent video on the internet of him asking Iggy Azalea if he can parody her song. Who dat? Who dat? This beat is retarded. One time poo-poo and I farted. Anyway, there's actually a lot of songs that he wasn't able to do because the artist said no. Apparently he's been asking Prince for years, or at least asks him every few years, if he can parody one of his songs. And Prince, being Prince, always says no. Apparently this actually was kind of a complicated incident when the two of them had to sit in the same row at music awards, and Weird Al actually got a telegraph, I don't know who uses those anymore, from Prince's producers and lawyers or whatever, saying that he's not supposed to make eye contact with Prince at these awards. Apparently Prince took it very personally that somebody wanted to sing one of his songs. Then of course he's got movies. If you haven't seen UHF, it's an amazing movie. It's one I grew up with. Again, I'm not sure why I was allowed to watch that as a kid. Parody stuff and comedy I was always seemed to get away with my family. Which I guess makes sense since my family is a joke. But anyway, that movie is hilarious. Even if you don't get a lot of the stuff it's spoofing, like I didn't as a kid, because I didn't really grow up in the 80s, but it's still a hilarious movie and I highly recommend it. It's probably on Netflix. You get it at Walmart for like $2. Then there was this TV show which I actually bought on DVD, but I haven't watched it. I remember as a kid it was, I don't know, it reminded me of like Beakman's World, kind of, the setting, because I know he lived underground and all this stuff. But I don't really remember the show specifically being good, which is why I haven't gone back and watched it. There's actually a lot of shows I own on DVD that I haven't even opened yet, like Street Sharks. It's kind of weird now being an adult because I don't really listen to a lot of popular music. So when I was a kid, these Weird Al songs were so catchy, and I'm pretty sure they played them on the radio. Whereas now, I don't want to say he's underground, but I don't think that his stuff is played regularly. That, and it's not like before where you would hear the original songs on the radio or whatever. Now you just go and download the MP3. It's a whole new digital age of CDs. So I've listened to most of his new album, but there's some of the songs on there that I don't really even know, or that I've heard and he's parodying them, but it's like, I don't know the original song, but your version's still pretty good. And he's got some cool music videos. He did like 8 in 8 days. It took me a month to get one video out. Although apparently working alone with a tripod is not easy. In case you're wondering about some of the other things like that he couldn't do, like with the example of Prince, Led Zeppelin is another band that he wanted to parody and they said no. And he was going to parody Paul McCartney's Live and Let Die, but and Paul McCartney said, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, man. It's totally cool with me. You go ahead and parody my music. You make whatever song you want. Oh, you can even parody Ringo, he's a retard.
He was going to name the song Chicken Pot Pie off of Live and Let Die, which is the James Bond song. Good song, by the way. But I didn't know this. Paul McCartney is vegetarian, so when he found out the name of the song, he thought it would be in bad taste. I just spit all over the wall. And if you haven't heard the song You're Pitiful, that's a parody of You're Beautiful, who James Blunt said he could do, but the record label said no, so he did the song anyway, and then of course he couldn't release the song for monetary compensation, so he released it online for free. there's tons of trivia and facts and stuff about Weird Al, but I don't want to go on for hours talking about this, because I don't even know if people are going to like this video. Then again, I don't know if people like any of my videos, because nobody watches them. Oh boy. Ooh, it hurts. Inside. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you can subscribe at the bottom in order to go to my birthday party, which is happening in less than a week. So if you want to be a part of that, you just click that button. It will RSVP you onto my birthday list for the roster. And you can come over. We're going to have a clown, balloon animals. It's going to be awesome. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your favorite Weird Al memory in the comments below. No? Don't want to comment? Oh, you didn't watch the video. Yes, well, I don't know who I'm talking to then. Anyway, thanks for watching. Another one rides the bus. Another one rides the bus. Hey, hey, I still don't have pants on.